All right, Brittany, welcome back. We have finished week 13 of the Pick'em League. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, and you'll talk about why in a moment, but we're getting down to the wire. It's exciting stuff in football, exciting stuff here at the Dish Pick'em League, so Kyle, let's hear it.
All righty, let's get into it. So, for the week 13 results, Team On Tackle came out in first place this week with 13 correct picks. And behind them, we had a slew of teams who were close. IPA, In by 5, Echo All-Stars, Are You Ready for Some Football, and the Blind Darts all came in second place with 12 correct picks. And so looking forward, looking at the overall standings, because we're getting to the end of the season,
Sure.
we have Red Zone Royalty and Are You Ready for Some Football in first place with 124 total correct picks. And then tied for third, we have the Pterodactyls, the Blind Darts, and the Freakin' Beacons with 120 correct picks. And then tied for sixth place, we have the IPA and In by 5 with 119 correct picks throughout the season so far. So looking at that, between first and last, right, the split is about 13 total points. So if you're in last place, you've got a little bit of work to do, but again, you've got 5 weeks left.
A little bit of work to do.
But you've got 5 weeks left to get those picks in on time. We have not missed a week. Nobody's missed a week yet. So there's definitely still ground to be made up.
That's my public service announcement. If you are one of the teams in last place, don't forget you are still vying for what I feel like is maybe it's a priceless prize. Well, there is a price on it. But what I feel like is the best prize of the bunch. There will be a last place prize, but more than that, don't ruin it for everyone. We are perfect on our street. Everyone has gotten their picks in on time. You can't just throw up your hands now because you think you're out of the running.
That's true.
My plea for the group. And very interesting week, 13. Hats off to you. That's great. 13 picks correct. Nobody could have gotten all the picks right because we had another tie game this week.
We had a tie.
Yeah, that's crazy. Which
We did.
means nobody gets points for that. So.
Yep, everybody loses on that one.
Yeah.
But looking forward to week 14, Brittany.
Yes.
And before we get into the injury update, there's a couple games, right, that we'll call out. Obviously, the Thursday night football game, Raiders versus Rams. And the important thing about that, when are picks due, Brittany?
Well, they are due 5 minutes prior to the start of the first game, which is Thursday at...
I hope it's 6:15. 6:15, 6:20, somewhere in that range.
6:15. Before you leave this building on Thursday, make sure your picks are in.
Get them in.
Unless you work real late, then, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In which case, get them in.
Yeah.
And then looking forward to the Sunday night game, which I believe was a reschedule or something to that effect. It's Dolphins Chargers Sunday night.
They flexed, yes. It was flex, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't know why.
And then we've got the Monday night game, which is the Patriots versus the Cardinals.
Yeah, a lot going on. It's been interesting. Like I said, the big news this past week was the tie game, Commanders and Giants. They tied it up at 20 even after OT. They will actually battle it out again in week 15. So in 2 weeks, they play again, and we'll see if someone can emerge victorious after that. But wouldn't it be crazy if they tied again?
Would the winner get 2 wins?
No.
Doesn't seem like it.
No.
No.
Why do you think it works that way?
Why can't it work that way?
I don't know. Write to your good friend, Commissioner Goodell. All right, anything else, Kyle, or should I head in, transition into all of the injuries?
Let's hear about the injuries this week so we can make some informed picks.
Yes, let's. Well, I would say one of the biggest headlines in football this week wasn't even in the NFL, and it's interesting for some local folks here. So Deion Sanders, if you haven't seen from college football, is the new head coach for the Buffs right down the road. So that was very interesting. Made the headlines for most of the football news this week. But Jimmy Garoppolo, we've talked about him a lot. He had the potential to make quite a bit of money. Well, he's going to be watching from home the rest of this season. So he broke his foot, left in the first quarter this past week. He's done for the season, but the rookie QB, Brock Purdy, a.k.a. Mr. Irrelevant. I just learned about this. Do you know what Mr. Irrelevant is?
No, I do not.
They're the last person selected in the draft, and they get like a jersey and everything. And he was the last one selected in the 2022 draft. So Mr. Relevant is the new starting QB for the 49ers.
Sounds like he's relevant now.
He certainly is. He's got some good stats. We'll see how it goes, but he will be stepping in. Lamar Jackson, we also saw, out with a knee injury. He's week to week following the MRI. So not confirmed out for the season yet. They're still hopeful. Take a look at that before you make your picks going forward and see if he's back in. We talked about this previously, but Deshaun Watson did return with a disappointing return this week as the Browns failed to score a single offensive touchdown in that game. I mean, 700 days away, I guess we'll do that to you. So I'm sure the O-line still has a few plays to massage on that front. In interesting possible additions to the team, Odell Beckham Jr. taking a little field trip down to Dallas Cowboys, to Jerry Land. He is a free agent, so you could see him join up with the Dallas Cowboys and start making an impact there. So stay tuned, see if he joins the roster. Carolina Panthers waived Baker Mayfield, so he will be also watching some games from comfort of his own home. And the Titans, breaking news today, fired their GM, I believe. So some changes to Tennessee's organization that may have some impacts. Keep that in mind. But those are the updates coming in this week. Things to keep in mind as you make your picks.
Sounds good. Well,
Speaking
I believe
of picks, Kyle.
the last thing we have left, and as always, my favorite segment of the video.
Yeah, as I know. Yes. All right. Kyle.
Brittany.
2015. This one takes a little more serious turn. So I think if you haven't seen, I don't know, maybe you're more of like a drama, an NFL drama kind of guy. Have you seen Concussion?
I have not.
Of course you haven't.
Swing and a miss.
All right. A lot going on with some head injuries and things. We've seen a lot this season. Concussion protocols and different things impacting the rosters. So 2015 film starring Will Smith. Alec Baldwin, Luke Wilson plays Roger Goodell in that one. Interesting casting choice in my opinion. But Will Smith was a forensic pathologist. This close to my heart because it took place with a lot of Steelers and in and around Pittsburgh. But he was a forensic pathologist who fights against the NFL trying to suppress his research on CTE, so chronic traumatic encephalopathy. CTE, let's just keep it there.
There we go.
Yep. So the brain degeneration that's suffered by professional football players is a big thing. There's footage in the movie of a lot of press conferences, and it's very interesting to see all of the threats and calls and things from fans locally, just trying to keep this out. And he just kind of was curious about it, did some additional research, and some of you may know the only way to determine if this is a factor or not is post-mortem. So
yep.
Did a lot of but groundbreaking research, kind of revolutionized a lot of the technology and medical research in helmets and a lot of ways that the NFL operate today and some of the play calls and things that they take a look at. So different approach. This one's a little more dramatic, but really good information. Great cast. Check it out. Highly recommend it. Concussion. And that's what we have for the week, Kyle. Any parting words before we send the folks on their way to make excellent picks?
Tell you what, Brittany, let's see who's watching this video.
Okay.
The first person to show up at my desk and request a crisp high five will receive a free drink of their choice from the Dish Cafe downstairs.
I like it.
On me. So
I will be checking down the aisle to see when Dave Gardner shows up at your desk.
that's your bet already. I'll bet on Kate Wallace.
Well, you know, I've got some advice for whoever shows up at your desk when they're downstairs picking out their drink.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Make good choices.
Make good choices.